I moved to a small town in the Appalachians a few months ago. I was 34, trying to heal after a rough breakup. I thought quiet woods might bring back my love for photography. Hiking was something I enjoyed, but these woods felt different. They were dense and alive. The tall pines loomed over me. Each step off the path felt like I'd stepped into a hidden world. I wandered around with my camera, capturing quiet landscapes. It felt peaceful. I lost myself in thoughts about light and shadows. Then I found an old cabin. It was covered in vines and looked abandoned. A shiver of curiosity hit me. I carefully pushed the door open. The wood creaked, and inside I saw strange drawings covering the walls. They felt crude and upsetting. The air was thick, almost suffocating. I wanted answers, but didn't know where to find them. In the days that followed, I roamed deeper into the woods. Most of the time, it was just the sounds of nature. There were moments, though, when I felt watched. Rustling came from the bushes when I was alone. I would see something dart between the trees, but I'd laugh it off as just my mind playing tricks. But the feeling followed me. My heart started to race when I couldn't shake the unease. One evening, I set my camera up for the golden hour. Suddenly, a shadow zipped behind a tree. I turned quickly, but nothing was there. I asked myself if I was just imagining things. After all, I was alone and had been in the forest too long. My photos started revealing odd things too. Shapes, maybe faces, hid in the shadows. I thought about my sanity a lot. Was this all in my head? Then, one night, I went back to the cabin. I felt I needed to confront whatever this was. Inside, the drawings seemed to draw me in. I felt trapped. I needed fresh air. I stepped outside, and that's when I heard it. A whisper. It was soft and chilling. I couldn't understand the words. I glanced outside, and my breath got stuck in my throat. A figure stood just past the clearing. It just stared. I asked if it was okay, but my voice echoed back. It remained still. I wanted to run, but something made me stay. I didn't know why. Then it vanished. It was gone. I looked around in a panic, but the woods were silent. My heart raced harder now. What had I just seen? When I turned to leave, I thought I heard a voice. "Why are you here?" it seemed to ask, but all I got back was silence. I didn't know what I had encountered, but the weight of it felt heavy on my shoulders. As I walked away, questions rushed through my mind. What lurked in those woods? The woods felt alive, but not in a comforting way. I still wonder if I'll ever understand what I experienced that night. The following day, I was restless. I woke up early, determined to push through the unease from last night. If I didn't face this, I felt like it would consume me. I grabbed my camera and headed back into the woods before the sun fully rose. This time, I chose a different path. The air was crisp, and the fog clung to the ground like a shroud. I took deep breaths and focused on the beauty around me, hoping it would calm my racing heart. Each step felt heavier as memories of the figure loomed in my mind. I hoped to find something, some clue to make sense of it all. After wandering for a while, I stumbled across a small stream. The water sparkled, and I took a moment to set my camera down to capture it in the soft morning light. As I crouched, something caught my eye upstream. A glinting object rested in the mud, half submerged in the water. Curiosity piqued, I walked over to investigate. It was a locket. I picked it up and wiped off the mud. The metal felt cold against my skin. As I opened it, I felt a jolt. Inside was a faded photograph of a woman. She looked familiar, but I couldn't place her. Maybe someone from the town? I turned the locket over in my hands, trying to read the faded engraving on the back. It was just a name, Clara. I felt chilled again, as if the name had a weight to it in this quiet forest. Suddenly, an intense rustling filled the air. I flinched and held the locket tight. My instinct told me to hide, but I stood frozen. The sound grew louder, and then I saw it. A dark shape emerged from the thicket. I couldn't breathe as it inched closer. It wasn't the figure from last night, but something more animalistic. My heart pounded in disbelief. What was lurking in the shadows? The creature paused and stared at me with bright eyes, wide and unblinking. I felt like it was reading me, searching for something buried within. I fumbled for my camera, but my hands shook too much. It felt like time stood still as we locked eyes. The air shifted, heavy with tension. Then, without warning, the creature bolted back into the brush, slipping through the trees. I stood there, breathless and confused. What just happened? The woods whispered with life, but this was different. I glanced down at the locket, and something deep inside told me I needed to find out who Clara was. The fear gripped me, but so did a strange resolve. As I turned to leave, something else caught my attention. Someone stood at the edge of the tree line, watching. My instinct screamed to run, but this time I couldn't look away. The figure was too far to see clearly, yet they felt familiar. An unsettling realization washed over me. I thought I knew what
the woods had to offer, but I was wrong. I was just getting started. I took a step back, my heart racing again. The figure at the tree line didn't move. It just stood there, shrouded in mist, their features obscured. I thought about calling out, but my voice felt trapped in my throat. Panic clawed at me, but curiosity danced beside it like a flame flickering in the wind. Every instinct told me to flee, but something about that figure anchored me in place. It was as if we were magnetized, pulled together against our will. My grip on the locket tightened, as if it might reveal more answers. I raised my camera, my mind racing. My hands were still shaky from the earlier encounter, but I forced myself to steady the lens toward the figure. Just as I pressed the shutter, they stepped deeper into the woods, blending with the shadows. I caught a glimpse of a familiar silhouette, the same one from my childhood memories. Was that Clara? The very name echoed in my mind like a warning bell. I shook my head, trying to shake off the disorientation that gripped me. I had to know. I couldn't let my memories drown in fear. Deciding to follow, I hurried after them, my heart thumping in my chest. The forest felt alive, more alive than it had moments before. The sounds of chattering birds seemed to fade, replaced by a silence thick enough to cut through. I paused, the locket feeling heavier in my pocket, a tangible reminder of my mission. It led me deeper down a narrow path, overgrown with vines and thick roots. As I followed, my feet stumbled against the uneven ground, and I caught sight of a weathered sign half hidden by underbrush. It read, "For Clara." My breath caught in my throat. I knelt to inspect it, heart racing at the implication. Was this a memorial? A gravesite? A chill crept up my spine. I looked around, feeling invisible eyes on me. Then I heard it again, a rustling just a few feet away. I turned sharply, but found nothing. Only the trees seemingly watched me with their gnarled branches. Anxiety gripped me, but I couldn't turn back now. I continued down the path, driven by a compulsion I couldn't explain. Suddenly, I found myself in a clearing. At the center stood a crumbling stone structure, half fallen and worn by time. My pulse quickened as dread coiled in my stomach. The pillars loomed overhead, twisting and turning like grasping hands. That's when I noticed something on the ground. I approached cautiously, the unease swirling with an odd thrill. It was a small, rusted key. I picked it up, feeling its weight in my palm. Where did it belong? What door could it open? A sudden breeze swept through the clearing, whispering secrets I wasn't meant to uncover. I spun around, expecting to see the figure again. Instead, it was just me and the stone structure, and the unsettling echoes of my own thoughts. A voice broke through the silence, distant yet clear. "Help me find her."
I froze, recognizing it instantly. "Clara?" I called, but only the trees answered. The chill deepened, and the shadows seemed to stretch toward me. Now I understood. It wasn't just the woods that held secrets. Clara was part of them. What had I stumbled into? The sound of footsteps echoed behind me. They were approaching, swift and deliberate. I took a step back, ready to confront whatever came. I had to find Clara, but would it be her? Or something else entirely? I braced for the unknown, feeling the weight of everything shift. And then the figure emerged from the shadows again, holding something in their hand. It gleamed ominously against the mist. Everything inside me screamed to run, but there was no turning back now. The figure stepped into the clearing, and my breath hitched. They slowly raised their hand, revealing what they held. A glimmering locket, identical to mine. My pulse quickened as dread washed over me. Could it be Clara's? Did she drop it? Or had someone taken it? "Clara?" I breathed again, this time my voice shaking. The figure remained silent, their face still hidden by a curtain of mist. I took a cautious step forward, my heart hammering. "Is it you? Are you trying to tell me something?" But deep down, I was afraid it wasn't Clara at all. My instincts screamed for me to retreat, but I couldn't tear my eyes away from the locket. "Help me find her." The voice echoed again, this time more frantic, cutting through the silence like a knife. I felt as if I was trapped in a loop, an unreal dream where the past collided with the present. Before I could gather my thoughts, the figure turned and sprinted back into the trees. I hesitated, a whirlwind of options crashing in my mind. Should I follow, or heed the instinct to run in the opposite direction? I glanced at the rusted key in my palm. What if it was meant for that crumbling stone structure? What secrets did it hold? But more importantly, what was chasing me? The uncertainty was unbearable. With a deep breath, I steeled myself and raced after the figure. The forest loomed around me, branches clawing at my clothes as I maneuvered through the underbrush. I followed the fleeting shadow, adrenaline pumping through me. Every sound, the crack of a twig, the rustle of leaves, set my nerves on edge. I felt the air shift, heavy, with an energy that felt both exciting and terrifying. I came to a sudden stop as I broke into another clearing. This one was larger and empty, except for a single stone well at its center. I glanced around, searching for the figure, but they had vanished. The well appeared ancient, ivy curling over its stones, and without thinking, I approached it. I leaned over the edge, peering into the darkness below. Nothing but echoes met my gaze. The silence loomed heavy as the wind whistled through the cracks in the stones. And then, out of nowhere, I heard a soft whisper rise from the depths, as if the well itself were alive. "Find her." My heart raced. The voice was different this time, softer, yet pleading in a way that felt deeply familiar. "Clara?" I stepped back, trembling as the weight of the situation crashed over me. I turned, scanning the trees for any signs of movement, but the figure was gone, and I was alone again, trapped in the bizarre stillness of the woods. And that's when I saw it, a flicker of light from deep within the forest, drawing my attention like a moth to a flame. My curiosity was rekindled, but mixed with dread. What lay ahead? I had to know, so I took a step toward the flicker. As I moved, the shadows seemed to shift. The world around me felt alive, and I couldn't shake the feeling that whatever had come before me was merely a prelude to something far more sinister. I hesitated one last time. Every instinct warned me against it, but I was pulled forward. Whatever awaited me in the woods would either lead me to Clara or plunge me deeper into the unknown. As I moved deeper into the woods, the flicker of light drew me in like a siren's call. It pulsed softly,
illuminating patches of the underbrush and casting elongated shadows that danced ominously around me. The tension twisted in my stomach, growing heavier with each step I took. I was tempted to turn back, to escape back to the stillness of the well and the safety of my thoughts. But Clara's memory ignited a fire within me. I needed to find her. I pushed through the thicket, branches clawing at my arms and clothes, but I pressed on. The underbrush thickened, and just as I began to think the light was an illusion, I stumbled into yet another clearing. This one was smaller, encircled by tall birch trees that looked like sentinels guarding whatever lay within. In the center stood a peculiar twisted tree, its gnarled roots burrowing into the earth. The flicker of light intensified, now a soft glow that danced around the tree. "Clara?" I called out, my voice trembling. The glow pulsed warmly, and for a moment I thought I saw a figure standing near the tree. It was just a fleeting shadow, but it sent a shiver racing down my spine. Then, from behind the tree, a familiar face emerged. It wasn't Clara, but someone I recognized. My heart raced. It was Liz, my childhood friend who had vanished years ago. "Help me," she whispered, her eyes dark and pleading. There was something off about her, a hollowness that made the hair on my arms stand up. I took a cautious step closer, confusion mingling with fear. This couldn't be real. Liz was gone.
Everyone knew that. Liz? My voice wavered as I tried to process her presence. How are you here?" "Find her," she repeated, but this time there was a tremor in her voice. "You have to find Clara before it's too late." Before I could react, she pointed toward the twisted tree. A deep rumble echoed through the clearing, and the ground shook slightly beneath me. The pulsating light exploded into a flurry of sparks. Suddenly, the clearing felt alive, pulsating with an energy that surged forward, wrapping around me. I stumbled back, but a strong, invisible force kept me rooted in place. I could hardly breathe. "What do you mean?" "There's a choice," Liz whispered, her form flickering like a candle in the wind. "You can't turn back now. Do you want to find her?" The light intensified, and a new wave of fear washed over me. I felt trapped, not just by the forest, but by the gravity of her words. The trees began to creak as if answering her plea. Before I could respond, I heard rustling in the bushes behind me, breaking my focus. I turned to see a shadow darting through the trees, fast and fluid. My heart sank, recognizing the danger that was creeping closer. Now, I had to choose between chasing after the flickering light and facing whatever was lurking in the shadows. A cold sweat coursed down my back. Whichever path I took might lead me closer to Clara, or steal me away into the unknown. I stood there, frozen, caught between two uncertainties. The shadow slipped away, quick as a whisper. My mind raced. Behind me was the glowing tree and Liz's haunting plea. Ahead lay whatever was stalking me in the dark. A cold sweat coursed down my back. Whichever path I took might lead me closer to Clara, or steal me away into the unknown. I stood there, frozen, caught between two uncertainties. The shadow slipped away, quick as a whisper. My mind raced. Behind me was the glowing tree and Liz's haunting plea. Ahead lay whatever was stalking me in the dark. I focused on Liz. If this was real, if she was really here, then maybe there was hope. "I want to find Clara," I finally said, desperation clinging to my voice. "But how?" "Do you trust yourself?" Liz asked, her form flickering in and out of focus. It felt as if she were being pulled by an unseen force, tugged away from me. "I don't know," I shouted. "Do I?" "Listen," she pleaded, the urgency palpable. "The light shows the way, but it will reveal truths you're not prepared for. You have to be brave." Before I could ask what she meant, her image shimmered violently as the ground quaked again. I stumbled, and a surge of energy rippled through the air, sending a gust of wind that nearly knocked me over. The glow from the tree pressed closer, almost inviting.
With a deep breath, I turned my back on Liz and the rustle in the trees. I stepped toward the light, feeling its warmth envelop me. The moment I moved, the shadows behind me grew restless, inching closer, dark tendrils whispering sounds I couldn't make out. As I reached the glowing tree, I noticed symbols carved into its bark, shapes that twisted and turned, weaving stories I couldn't decipher. I touched the rough surface, and a rush of memory swept through me. Flickers of laughter, whispers of secrets shared, and Clara's face smiling up at me from the ground where we used to play. Suddenly, the light brightened, almost blinding me. I stumbled backward, and visions filled my mind. Clara in the woods, her laughter echoing, only to be replaced by a chilling silence. I saw her face, twisted in fear, eyes wide as something pulled her deeper into the forest. "No!" The cry tore from my lips, a raw instinct to protect her rising inside me. Then, from the edges of the clearing, the shadows whispered louder. I could make out a form stepping into the light, dark and ominous. Its eyes glinted with unnatural hunger. My breath hitched, and every instinct urged me to flee. "Clara!" I shouted into the raging chaos, hoping my voice could pierce the veil that separated us. But the form advanced, shifting silently. Leaves crunched under its weight, and I couldn't tell if it was moving toward me or the tree. Panic flooded me. What was this thing? Did it want me, or was it a monster that craved Clara? Then everything went dark. The light flickered out, leaving only the shadow looming before me. I felt the rush of air, heard the creature's breath, and knew I needed to act or be consumed. My heart raced as I made a choice. I lunged back toward the glowing tree, praying for the strength to face whatever had come for us. If I could just reach it, I could break the hold of the darkness around me. But as I did, I heard a voice not my own, whispering from the shadows. "Your time is running out." The fear clawed at my throat as I reached for the tree, desperate for answers. But would it really lead me to Clara? I pressed my palm against the rough bark of the glowing tree, its warmth pulsing beneath my touch. I felt the energy flowing through me, filling the air with a hum I could almost hear. But the presence behind me was growing bolder. The shadow shifted, its breath closer, and I knew I had only moments to act. "Reveal yourself!" I shouted, my voice trembling. It was reckless, but fear quickened my resolve. The shadow paused, hovering just out of reach, as if considering my challenge. Then, in a heartbeat, it lunged forward. I barely had time to react. Instinct kicked in, and I ducked sideways, throwing myself to the ground. I rolled and scrambled toward the tree, my fingers fumbling over the symbols carved into the wood. The glow suddenly intensified, and with it came a rush of images, fragments of memories that weren't mine. Clara's laughter still echoed in the distance, but now I saw flashes of dark figures lurking in the trees around her, their shapes twisted and haunting. I gritted my teeth against the surge of dread. I couldn't let fear paralyze me. I needed to find Clara and pull her from whatever darkness claimed her. Just then, a sharp pain shot through my leg. I looked down to see a tendril of shadow wrapping itself around my ankle, tugging me back. "No!" I yelled, fighting against it. I pulled myself closer to the tree, desperate to break free of this thing that had been following me. "Clara!" I screamed again, my voice cutting through the emptiness, each syllable a lifeline. I felt the shadows shift, and for a flicker of a moment, doubt crept in. What if Clara was lost? What if I couldn't save her? But then I remembered Liz. I remembered her words. Be brave. I took a deep breath, centered myself, and focused on the tree. The heat radiated more fiercely, pulling me closer, as if the tree itself wanted to help. "Clara!" I cried again, letting each letter resonate with the fear that had settled in my bones. The darkness hesitated, the tendril loosening its grip on my leg. Was it working? I pressed my forehead to the tree, feeling the symbols shift under my touch. Then a voice echoed, soft yet commanding. "Face your fears." I jerked my head up.
Shadows crowded around the edges of my vision, but I felt an unfamiliar strength surge within me. "I will find you, Clara," I declared, a renewed certainty in my tone, "whatever it takes." Suddenly, the ground beneath me trembled, rippling with energy. Colors swirled around the light, a kaleidoscope of movement that pulled at my vision. And then, in an instant, the shadows vanished. It was quiet, too quiet. I could feel my heart thudding in my chest as I stood, breathless, catching my bearings. Had I driven them away? I looked around, searching for signs of Clara, but the darkness still loomed at the edge of the clearing. Then I noticed something on the ground, a small silver bracelet. It shimmered under the faint light. I reached down to pick it up, a chill racing down my spine. It was Clara's, but how did it get here? In that moment, I felt a sharp tug on my heart. Clara was close, too close for comfort. Then, without warning, the shadows surged back, thicker than before. This time, they formed faces, distorted and writhing. They whispered my name, each syllable a taunt. "Your time is running out." I clenched the bracelet in my hand, resolve building within me. Whatever horrors awaited me, I had to face them. Now I knew I was just beginning to unearth the truth. But would I find Clara, or was I running headfirst into a trap? The shadows thickened around me, twisting like dark smoke. They shifted and morphed, creating a cacophony of voices that filled the air. "Your time is running out," echoed again, clearer this time. I could almost make out individual whispers, each one a different threat, a different fear. I tightened my grip on Clara's bracelet, feeling its cool metal warm in my palm. Forcing myself to breathe, I knew I needed to find a way out of this surreal nightmare. The air felt charged, alive, and the ground beneath swirled with uncertain energy. I had to think fast. I turned back toward the glowing tree. Maybe it could help me again. The bark pulsed with light, as if responding to my desperation. I pressed my hand against it once more, willing it to give me answers. "Please, show me the way," I chanted, hoping against hope that my plea would resonate. The glow shimmered, and a pathway appeared, a narrow, luminescent trail cutting through the darkness. Without a second thought, I dashed toward it. Each step felt heavy, the shadows clawing at my back, desperate to pull me down. I glanced back, and the writhing faces seemed angry, their eyes glinting with malicious intent. Then I stumbled. My foot caught on a root hidden beneath the brush. As I fell, I felt the shadows rush forward, their whispers rising in a frenzied chorus. "Too late! Too late!" Panic surged through me as I pushed myself up. I could barely see where the glow led in the chaos, but I had no choice. I scrambled to my feet and continued down the path, my heart racing and my mind racing faster. Suddenly, the ground beneath me began to tremble again, but this time it was different. It felt almost alive, pulsating with a rhythm that matched my frantic heartbeat. Then I saw it, a figure emerging from the darkness up ahead. Dread squeezed at my chest. "Clara?" I called, my voice barely a whisper. The figure didn't respond. Instead, it swayed slightly, as though caught in a trance. I stepped closer, and a powerful wave of recognition washed over me. It was Clara, but her expression was vacant, as if she were trapped in a web of shadows. Those same dark figures lurked behind her, manipulating the air around her in terrible ways. "Clara!" I shouted again, and this time it broke the spell. She blinked rapidly, confusion clouding her eyes. "No! Don't let them take you!" I yelled, my voice firm with urgency. I couldn't bear to see her drift away. As if in response, the shadows writhed and shrieked. They began to close in on both of us, angry at my interference. I quickly glanced around, searching for something, anything to fend them off. That's when I saw it, a flickering light further back along the path, a small lantern swaying gently. The light promised safety. "Clara, we need to reach that lantern," I shouted, and her eyes followed mine. "Can you come with me?" She nodded, and for the first time, her voice broke through the haze. "I can't fight them. They're too strong." "We can do this together," I replied, my voice steadying despite the chaos. The shadows hissed, rising up like a wall between us and the light. I felt a wave of desperation crashing down. With a determined shout, I pulled
Clara forward, and we ran together, hand in hand, fueled by sheer will. But the shadows lashed out, tendrils reaching for us, clawing at our heels. I could feel their cold breath on my neck. As we approached the light, I felt the urgency spike within me. "We're not afraid." In that moment, the shadows recoiled, their hold wavering. Would it be enough to break free? Then, everything went dark. I felt weightless, like I was suspended in nothingness. No light, no sound, just a suffocating silence wrapping around me. Where was Clara? Panic crawled up my spine. I tried to scream, but the sound never came. Suddenly, a flicker of light pierced the darkness. It was soft at first, just a glimmer, but it grew stronger. I squinted against it, feeling my heart race again. "Clara!" I shouted, and this time my voice found volume. The light swirled, taking form. I stumbled into it, feeling warmth envelop me. As my surroundings brightened, I gasped. We were back at the glowing tree, but something was wrong. The light was flickering erratically, and the shadows still lurked at the edges, just beyond the glow. I scanned for Clara, panic returning. "Clara, where are you?" I called out, desperation coloring my voice. But there was no answer. My pulse quickened as I took a step away from the tree. The air crackled with tension, and as I turned around, I noticed the ground was shifting beneath the tree's roots. Dark tendrils reached up, coiling and writhing like serpents, eager to ensnare. Then I saw her, not far from the base of the tree. Clara was there, but she wasn't alone. A shadowy figure loomed above her, its features indistinct but exuding menace. My throat tightened. "Clara!" I cried, racing toward her. She looked up, recognition filling her eyes. "It's too strong, it won't let go," she shouted back, her voice quaking. I reached her side just as the figure lunged. My instincts kicked in. "Stand behind me!" I positioned myself in front of her, heart pounding. As the figure lunged again, I felt an intense wave of energy crash over me, and without thinking, I brought my hands out in front of me. To my shock, a barrier of pure light burst forth, pushing back the figure momentarily. It reeled, hissing like a panther wounded. Clara stared wide-eyed. "You did that?" "I don't know how," I replied, fear mixing with disbelief. But I didn't have time to analyze it. I knew I had to act. Clara and I backed toward the tree, still connected. The shadows raged against my light shield, but it held. I could feel the force of their anger, like a cyclone battering a fragile wall. I closed my eyes and focused. Whatever this power was, I had to summon it again. I pictured Clara safe and free. I pictured us back in the sunlight, away from this horror. The light flared brighter, and I felt the shadows retreat, if only for a moment. But something shifted. The air buzzed. A voice echoed around us. "You can't escape your fate." A chill ran down my spine. I opened my eyes, taking a step forward with Clara. "We'll never give in," I shouted into the void. The shadows recoiled again, but I could sense them gathering strength. My legs felt weak, and I feared we could stand here forever. That's when I saw it, a gleam of metal half buried in the dirt near the tree's roots. It was another lantern, shimmering weakly. "That must be it," I said, pointing. "We need the light." With Clara's hand tightly in mine, I dashed toward it, dodging the frantic tendrils snapping at my heels. The lantern flickered. It seemed to call to us. My heart thundered as we reached it. But as I grasped the lantern, a surge of deeper shadows enveloped us, and I realized we weren't just facing a memory anymore. We were caught in a game far larger than ourselves, and the rules were about to change. I took a deep breath as I clutched the lantern, its light pulsating like a heartbeat. The shadows loomed closer, restless and angry, swirling into tendrils that seemed alive with malice. Beside me, Clara's face was pale with fear, but there was determination in her eyes that bolstered my courage. The moment I lifted the lantern, a wave of warmth washed over us, dispelling the chill that wrapped around our limbs. The shadows hesitated, recoiling. "Let's go," I urged, pulling Clara closer. As we stepped into the light, the air crackled with energy, and the lantern glowed brighter, illuminating a path through the darkness. Together we ran, the flickering warmth surrounding us like a shield. Behind us, the howls of the shadows rose into a primal roar, swirling in a frenzy of anger and desperation. "Keep moving," I shouted, pushing us forward, feeling an unseen force propelling us. But the dark figures were relentless. They surged through the night, their whispers clawing at my resolve. "You can't escape. You don't belong here." The cries echoed in my mind, threatening to drown me in despair. "Clara," I called, glancing back over my shoulder. "Stay close." We raced through the woods, dodging branches that reached for us like desperate hands. The deeper we went, the more the shadows clawed at our heels, but the lantern's light blazed fiercely, creating a dome of radiance that pushed their darkness back. But then we broke into a clearing that filled my heart with dread. The stone structure loomed ahead, crumbling yet solid, like a forbidden palace long forgotten. The pulsating glow of the lantern dimmed as we approached, and I felt the weight of it, the weight of both fear and an invitation to confront whatever lay within. "We can't stop now," Clara said, her voice steady, anchoring me in resolve. "We have to know what this means." With every step closer, the energy in the air thickened, swirling with confused emotions. Shapes shifted in the periphery, flashes of memories I couldn't catch, the laughter, the games, the darkness that had pursued us all along. As we stood before the entrance, I felt as though a barrier had formed around us, a threshold we couldn't cross without consequences. "What if this is the end?" I whispered, hesitating at the last moment. Clara caught my gaze, and for a heartbeat, our fears collided. "No more turning back," she said firmly. "Whatever it takes." I nodded, gripping the lantern tightly as we stepped across the threshold. The moment we crossed, whispers filled the air, a chorus of voices that echoed doubts and fears. "You shouldn't be here. You'll never leave." We took a deep breath, pushing forward into the structure's dark embrace. The walls hummed with energy, drawing us deeper into the heart of the mystery. Memories scattered like broken glass, each fragment a glimpse into what had been, what had led us here. And there, at the center of the room, stood an altar. Odd symbols adorned its surface, illuminated by the remaining light of the lantern. I approached cautiously, instinctively placing the lantern down. As it settled, the entire room ignited with light, beams shooting out to touch the walls and ceiling, igniting every symbol etched in dark stone. I blinked against the sudden brightness, and as my vision cleared, Clara was transfixed by the sight before us. "Look," she gasped, pointing to a figure emerging from the swirling light above the altar. It was Clara, past Clara, her image shifting like smoke, an expression of longing reflected in her eyes. "I've been waiting," the figure whispered, the words resonating with an echo that felt timeless. "Why? What do we need to do?" I spoke into the vastness. "Find me," the figure urged, fading slowly like a memory lost in time. "You must embrace the truth." The lantern flickered violently, shadows creeping back around us. I could feel their presence, trying to pull me away from the altar's illumination. "We can't leave her," I shouted, rallying against the confusion. There had to be something more to this. "Help me," Clara's past self murmured.
help us all find peace. It was then I understood. This wasn't just about saving Clara or squaring away the haunting memories of the past. It was a confrontation of every shadow that had ever chased us. Fear, regret, abandonment, the very energies that had ensnared us here. "Clara," I shouted again, finding my voice amidst the chaos. "We can do this." "Help me," Clara's past self murmured. "Help us all find peace." It was then I understood. This wasn't just about saving Clara or squaring away the haunting memories of the past. It was a confrontation of every shadow that had ever chased us. Fear, regret, abandonment, the very energies that had ensnared us here. "Clara," I shouted again, finding my voice amidst the chaos. "We can do this. We need to stand together, now." Feeling empowered, I extended my free hand to Clara, who grasped it tightly. Together, we etched our presence into that space, merging our fear with determination. The light pulsed in response, and with one deep breath, we shouted in unison, "We will not be taken." The darkness exploded outward, rushing against our combined force. The shadows spiraled back, faces contorting in rage and despair. The alcohemical response swept through the room, and in that split second, everything changed. The lantern exploded with radiance, piercing through the very core of the darkness. And then, the world fell away. When I opened my eyes, I lay on the forest floor, sunlight streaming brightly through the trees. Clara lay beside me, unconscious but safe. The memories flickered like fragile fireflies in my mind, and I struggled to gather them, all the fragmented whispers, faces, emotions. I glanced around. The woods felt different now, less alive with malice, more serene with opportunity. But a sense of unease remained. The shadows had not been completely eradicated. They lingered at the edges of memory, obscured but still present. As Clara stirred beside me, I felt a profound sense of unease wash over me. She blinked, confusion flickering across her face as she slowly regained consciousness. I could sense it. The lingering questions overshadowed our moment. "Where are we?" she murmured, looking around as if the forest had changed overnight. I think we made it out," I replied, a timid smile breaking through. But what had we left behind? When I turned to face the woods again, I saw movement out of the corner of my eye. Shadows slipping into quiet corners, shapes lingering just beyond the light. I still didn't know if what we had experienced was real, or merely a manifestation of our imaginations battling memories too deep to confront. But as Clara got to her feet, I knew this moment changed me. I moved to the edge of the clearing, Clara standing beside me. "You okay?" I asked softly. "Yeah," she replied, though her eyes were scanning the tree line. But I understood. Whatever had haunted us still lingered, a mystery half illuminated. In the depths of those woods, the past held secrets too intricate to piece together entirely. I would never fully know whether the shadows were an awakening of deeper fears, or if true darkness had played its hand. But one truth remained. There was no escaping the weight of our fears, and sometimes they are meant to be confronted, no matter the outcome. As I walked away from the echo of the ancient structure, I held Clara's hand tightly. We would navigate this world together, and in doing so, perhaps we would slowly uncover the larger mystery that still wrapped around our lives. The unease lingered, but so did the hope of moving forward.